Hello, my name is Mercy Vola, and I want to propose a question to everyone watching, and come back to it at the end of the video. Everyone is committed to something in school, whether it is a club or a sport, but how quickly do you give up? I've been dancing since I was 4 years old and started in the Mommy and Me classes. I recently performed in my last recital 14 years later. Dancing has become my reason to breathe and has guided me through life with a very strong passion. One thing that I have learned from this is that it takes a great deal of commitment to never give up. Even though I love to dance, it was sometimes difficult for me to put aside all the fun adventures in life to practice for 4 or 5 hours a night.
Since high school started, I have been dancing 6 days a week for 5 or more hours a night. This just became my normal. Whenever friends asked to hang out, my answer was always, "No, I have dance." In September, I broke my shoulder and collarbone. This was the first injury I've had in my 14 years of dancing. After many doctor's appointments and hours of physical therapy, they told me I could not dance for more than a month. Even though a month is not a long time, for me it was about 120 hours of not dancing. I never gave up. I still went to every practice, sitting by the piano, taking notes, and writing down every step the dancers took. I resisted the urge to dance for a month, then I threw myself back into practice immediately, because I missed it so much. The doctors told me that this injury would be something that ends my dancing career forever. I took that upon myself and trained in the hours I was not at practice and started building back up the strength in my shoulder. I told myself this could not be the end. I worked harder than ever and never gave up. I would not take what the doctors told me to heart. I said to myself, this is no way. This will end my dancing career.
Being positive will not only make it easier for you to deal with the challenges, but also help you embrace the new ones. If you're bitter or focused on all your failures, then you won't be able to move forward. My shoulder being injured and having to sit out of practice was a big challenge for me. The only time I miss practice is usually when I have another gig. Even when I'm sick, I'm still in class. Look at all these changes as an opportunity to learn something new, to meet new people, and to become a more well-rounded person.
Though you may not see any positive aspects of the situation just yet, you should be proud of yourself for handling it with grace and moving forward. Another reason that you may be thinking of giving up is because you just want great things to happen to you right that second. The road to success is paved with plenty of failures, and you shouldn't give up before you've even started trying.
From my injury, I learned to always push my limits no matter how hard it is. For those of you who cannot relate to dance or have a sport that they are very committed to, may see this aspect in another part of their life, such as work. I asked my father a few questions about this, being that he has worked since he was a young boy and owned his first business at the age of 18. Making pizzas and owning his own restaurant is definitely his passion and what he has dedicated his time to.
What got you into the restaurant business, and how did you know it was what you wanted to do?
I got into the business because of my dad. My dad had over 50 pizzerias, and I grew up in the business. At 13 years old, my dad showed me how to make pizza, and I loved making the pizza. It was fun playing with the dough, throwing it up, and I just loved the atmosphere and the people, socializing with people. It was great for me.
Was it hard to open your first business at the age of 18?
Well, I got kind of lucky at the age of 18 because my uncle owned a few stores. My dad taught my uncle how to make pizza, and my dad brought my uncle in from Italy, and my uncle had a few stores, and he had one of the stores. There was an employee stealing from him, and he was losing a lot of money. So my uncle asked me to go over there and see if I could figure out which employees were stealing, and of course I figured it out, and we caught him, and my uncle ended up firing him, and then he wanted to sell the store, so that was my opportunity to buy the store. So I ended up buying a store at 18 years old, and I worked 7 days a week, 12 hours a day for about 5 years till I paid the store off, paid my uncle everything I owed him, and that's how I opened my first store. At the age of 18 I started, and I just loved being my own boss.
How did you manage to never give up when things got hard in the business?
Oh my God. That's part of being a boss and having a successful business, I just sacrificed a lot. I missed so many events. Couldn't hang out with my friends because I had to take care of my store, because you have to be there. If you have your own business, you have to be there, and it's the only way. Because nobody will take care of a business the way you take care of a business. I sacrificed a lot, and at the end, it was all worth it, because I'm a wealthy man because of the pizza businesses that I have owned, and I just love it.
Never giving up teaches you skills that one will not understand unless they are dedicated to something themselves. I have also worked in my family's restaurant since middle school. One lesson that my father taught me that goes along with never giving up was sacrifice. Sometimes you have to skip the middle school dance and work for a few hours to buy that new phone case or toy you really want. At that time, it was something I always disagreed with him for, but I recently began to understand why he did.
So again, I would like to propose this question. How quickly do you give up? And if you answered quickly, maybe it is time to work on some better actions. The secret to our success is that we never give up. Be a person of action. When things get hard, don't give up. Don't settle for what people tell you, and always strive to do more than what is easiest.